Okay, so now we are going to add polynomials. Okay, remember that we have to put them in standard form first, and we can only combine like terms. Okay, so two methods. We've got horizontal format first, which means we're going to leave it looking like this and just combine all the like terms. Okay, so first thing we want to do is make sure that all these are in standard form. So I'm going to rewrite this one in standard form. Okay, so we've got highest one is 5x cubed plus second highest exponent 2x squared plus, then I got this negative x, so that's negative 1x plus 7. Okay, now we're adding, so I'm going to add to that 3x squared plus this 4x is negative plus 7. Then I'm going to add the last ones. Well, the x cubed comes first, that's negative 1x cubed plus, we got a positive 4x squared plus, and then negative 8. Okay, so all these are in standard form. And I put the parentheses back around them. Really, we could just write them without the parentheses and have 5x cubed plus 2x squared plus negative 1x plus 7, so on and so forth, all the way down the line without the parentheses. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to combine like terms. So the first thing I'm going to do is look for the cubes. So I got 5x cubed, and then in this one, I don't have an x cubed. In this one I do, so I'm going to take 5x cubed plus negative 1x cubed, and that equals 4x cubed. Okay, then I'm going to look for my squareds. So I've got 2x squared plus, we've got a 3x squared plus, and then I've got a 4x squared. So 2x squared plus 3x squared plus 4x squared, that's 9x squared. Still positive. Okay, so far we've taken care of this one and the x squareds. Okay, now I need the x's. So I've got negative 1x plus, I've got a negative 4x and there's no x's here, so negative 1x plus negative 4x is negative 5x. And then I'm looking at my constants. I got 7 plus 7 plus negative 8. 7 plus 7 is 14 plus negative 8 is positive 6. So I'm going to take all these and write it back in polynomial form, because these are all terms that are not alike. So I cannot combine them, so I'm just adding them together. 4x cubed plus 9x squared plus negative 5x plus 6. So there I've got a polynomial with a degree of 3, so that's a cubic polynomial right there that we ended up with. Okay, so again, basically adding polynomials is just combining a bunch of like terms all together until you can't combine them anymore. Alright, so that's the horizontal format, which is fine and dandy, okay? But I'm going to show you another format called the vertical format, which is my favorite because I kind of have OCD and like things to be nice and orderly. Alright, so I'll show you that one next. Okay, so for the vertical format, this is my favorite just because I'm kind of OCD and like things to be all lined up. So what we're going to do, okay, is take all of these and put them in standard form and just arrange them in columns and add them. Okay, so this is going to be 5x cubed plus 2x squared is the next highest degree plus, this is negative x, so that's negative 1x plus 7. In the second polynomial, we have no x cubes, so I'm going to put 0x cubed plus 3x squared plus, I've got a negative 4x plus 7. Then at the very end we're going to add on, we've got a negative 1x cubed right there plus of 4x squared plus we have 0 x's up there plus negative 8. And we're just going to add the columns all together. Okay, so 5x cubed plus 0x cubed plus negative 1x cubed is 4x cubed plus 2 plus 3 plus 4x cubed, which is 9x, or x squared, which is 9x squared, plus negative 1x plus negative 4x plus 0x is negative 5x, plus 7 plus negative 8, which is 14, plus negative 8 is 6. Again, I like the vertical format just because it allows us to see how everything can line up in columns and add them together. Alright, and let's move on to some subtracting now. Okay, and we'll do an example of subtracting polynomials, which is the same as adding them, okay? Because remember, subtraction, we always just change to adding the opposite. Okay, the trick in this is how to change to adding the opposite, so make sure you pay attention to that carefully. Alright, so we are going to make sure that our polynomial is in descending order, standard form, which it is. Okay, so this first one, we're just going to leave. Plus, we'll put negative 1x plus 8. Okay? Now the second one, we're going to do minus, and we've got negative 2x cubed plus 3x plus negative 4. Okay? So basically, all I did here, by the way, was change addition to subtraction inside the parentheses. Now remember, minus really means opposite, okay? So all we're going to do is change this to adding the opposite of everything in here. So it's negative 2x cubed plus 5x squared plus negative 1x plus 8 plus, and then we've got the opposite of negative 2x cubed, which is positive 2x cubed, plus the opposite of 3x, which is negative 3x, plus the opposite of negative 4, which is positive 4. Now we're going to combine some like terms. Okay, so negative 2x cubed plus 2x cubed, well, that equals 0, so essentially those just cancel out. Okay, then we've got a 5x squared, and there's no other x squared to add that to, so we're going to leave it alone. Okay, then we've got negative 1x plus negative 3x equals negative 4x. And then the last thing we've got is 8 plus 4, which is 12. Okay? So I don't need to account for this 0, so I've got 5x squared plus negative 4x plus 12. 5x squared plus negative 4x plus 12. That's my final answer when I combine this. Okay? Now let's look at how to do the subtracting with the vertical method as well. Okay, so for the vertical method, again, we're going to first change this to adding the opposite. So it's negative 2x cubed plus 5x squared plus negative 1x plus 8. And this is plus the opposite of negative 2x cubed, which is 2x cubed. Okay, and then we've got plus the opposite of 3x, which is negative 3x, plus the opposite of negative 4, which is positive 4. Okay, so we got this plus all of this. So we're going to add them together. So again, line them up. Plus 5x squared plus negative 1x plus 8. And then we're adding 2x cubed. We got no x squareds plus negative 3x plus 4. And combine the like terms. These cancel. We got 5x squared plus negative 4x plus 12. Same thing we got last time. Alright, and that's your lesson on adding and subtracting polynomials. Again, I don't care if you use the horizontal or vertical method, but you pick the one that works best for you. Alright, happy homeworking.